What's going on, NuCanoe Nation? Welcome back for another edition of the Unlimited podcast. Got an exciting guest for you guys this evening, Mr. Buz Bireline. I believe I said that right. I always fail, you guys, and forget to ask before the damn show starts. So sooner or later, I'll get that right. But yeah, a lot of good stuff going on. I met Buz down at ICAST. He's one of our newest team members on Team NuCanoe. I believe he just got on the team this year. Yeah, he's shaking his head yes. So I got that right. But he's doing some cool stuff down in Florida. So I wanted to get him on, chat with him. As always, if you got any questions or anything like that during the show, feel free to drop them in the comments. We'll get those questions answered for you. So, without further ado, let's get the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Buz Bireline. But did I pronounce that right?
It's Bireline, but that's
Bireline.
Okay.
Bireline.
You call me Buzz Lightyear, Buzz Aldrin, Buzz whatever. I'll come.
I'm sure you've heard it all, right?
I really have. And just wait till you hear what my wife calls me. So
oh boy. Well, hopefully it's PG. My wife has some specific names for me, and they're not suitable for live stream. So there you go.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I won't drop them.
I'm kidding. Honey, I'm sorry. I still love you.
Yeah. Getting us both in trouble here, buddy.
We got David Harper in the chat. Says, "What's up, Dave? Buzz?" So give the folks a little background on you, man. Like where you're from, how you got into kayak fishing, how you ended up in a NuCanoe, and all that good stuff, man.
Yeah, first, thanks a lot, Brian, for having me on the show. I'm really excited to be on. And, I've been a NuCanoe fan for a long time. I've been in a NuCanoe since 2015. I grew up in Central Illinois, really a bank fisherman.
Oh, wait a minute. Central Illinois.
Yeah.
Where in Illinois?
Danville, Illinois, East Central Illinois.
Okay. All right. I know where that's at.
Are you from that area?
No. I'm in Northern Illinois. I'm like on the border. Border of Wisconsin, but I'm a little south of there right now in the studio. We're in our studio here is in Yorkville, Illinois, which is like, just south, kind of near DeKalb, Northern Illinois University. Yep. So,
Danville is about 2.5 hours south of Chicago.
Yeah,
and just fishing with my parents and things like that. We never had a boat. We never traveled around really to go fishing much, but I always liked it. It was a good experience. And then through college, I went to the University of Florida for a graduate degree in ecology and did some fishing around here. But again, I was broke as a student, couldn't afford a boat. And then I started getting jobs, and I was in the zoo world for like 25 years. So in zoo administration, my last job was the chief operating officer at the Toledo Zoo.
Okay.
And it was between jobs. I was in Richmond, Virginia. I was a nature center director for a great little park called Maymont there. And we were fortunate we bought a house on a lake. And that was my time, man. I said, I want to get out on the water and get a different experience. And one of the dealers, Green Top, one of the NuCanoe dealers, sold me my first kayak in 2015. Great place, great store. So thank you, Green Top, for introducing me to kayak fishing, because I've been addicted ever since. So late 2015, you fished all over the place, especially on my lake. My wife said she was a fishing widow, because I get up in the morning and fish, go to work, come back home, eat real fast, and go fishing again. And then we moved back down here, lost my job after, all around COVID and that sort of stuff, and reorganizations. And so we moved back home where my wife is from, and lots of great things happened to me here in Gainesville, where I met my wife. So now I'm in real estate, and I'm, my side hustle is I do some guiding and some eco tour trips with my NuCanoe kayaks. And I selected specifically NuCanoe because of the stability on, especially for new kayak anglers, or just, people who are new to kayaking, I wanted to make sure they have a safe time. It's always safety first. So.
That's cool, man. So you went from running the zoo to selling zoos. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, for
that's
sure.
kind of wild, man. That's a different career change.
Yeah, it was a great experience. I love animals and ecology, and even my real estate business. After every sale, I donate to conservation programs, and I've been in Central America doing research programs and Okefenokee Swamp, and sea turtle stuff in Costa Rica, and I've hiked the Appalachian Trail. So being outdoors has always been, having outdoor adventures has always been great, and I've was a teacher for a long time. I taught college kids how to become zookeepers in a really specialized program in a community college. So I was a professor there. And yeah, so it's, I've had great experiences. I want to pass those on. So this is a great way to do it, with kayak. And it's, an entry level. Didn't have to buy a $15,000 to $40,000 boat to try to do it. And so it's been awesome. And I've met so many great people. I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about that with kayak anglers of Florida, but yeah, I've
Yeah, man.
got a lot going on.
That's a unique story right there. I'm glad we didn't talk as much as we should have down at ICAST because, I mean, it's like you shot me a message earlier. You got certain questions you want to ask, and I'm like,
Right.
no, man, we got to keep this natural. And
Yeah.
I try not to dig and do too much research on guys when I do these podcasts, man, whether it be here or on my other podcast, Paddle and Fin, man. It's uh, it helps unpack the episode. It's super unique, man. So you said Okie Dokie Swamp or something like that. Where is that?
The Okefenokee Swamp is where it's in South Georgia,
Okay.
just north of the state line. It's actually where the Santa Fe River, where I do a lot of guiding, is that's kind of the headwaters of that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I was talking to you earlier. I really want to try to specialize since I've been back. I've only been back down to Florida for about a year now,
Okay.
but I spent 14 years here before, and I really didn't focus on any particular species when I was here down before. I was really focused on my work. But I've got the Suwannee bass is really a unique species, near threatened species, and it's very abundant in the Santa Fe River. And I like to become known as that person who can put you on a large Suwannee bass because they're really unique. And a lot of people don't even know about them. They don't even think don't know they exist, or they think they're not a bass species, a black bass, and they're really pretty cool, especially on light line. And even if you never catch a fish, it's crystal clear water. It's like old Florida through the woods. It's really easy paddle. It's just a blast. So it's worth it. I hope I get you down here and spend some time on the water there. I think you'll love it.
Man, all you guys down in the Southeast have been like begging me to come down, and I'm like, dude, I'd love to just spend 3 months down there with all you guys.
Yeah, man, just bounce around. You got a place to stay with everybody, so that's fine.
Well, you brought up something interesting, man. Is a lot of people don't know about that species of black bass, right? There's so many different species of black bass that I think a lot of folks just have no idea about. Which I'm looking it up right now. It says there's 9, but I think there's more than that, right?
Well, the bass are in the perch. So the family of bass are all the perch family. So bluegill, sungill, that sort of thing. So when you start adding all of them up in that family, the numbers start to get up there. But
So
I'm not sure the total number of bass. So
Swanee bass is included in this list, and this is
yeah,
on Wired to Fish. I'll drop a link in the chat for everybody. But
cool.
there's Swanee bass, the spotted bass, smallmouth, shoal bass, which is found in Georgia, and a few other places. Red eye bass, largemouth, Guadalupe, which is mainly Texas, and then there's the Florida bass. and then the Alabama bass. So, I mean, just in your little area, I believe like you can catch most of all but like 2 or 3 of those, I believe it is.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think there's smallmouth in the state. I could be wrong. For some, my fisheries and aquatic sciences friends will probably be upset that I don't know that. Yeah, that's definitely one that'd be hard to get. You have to go a little farther north for that.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. I know a friend of mine in Texas just caught a Guadalupe, and he's like, I don't even know what this is. It's like a largemouth and a smallmouth, but like it's not just one or the other. And so we were all trying to identify it, and we figured it out. It was a Guadalupe bass, so it's kind of
Yeah, I
cool.
mean, when you look at the Sewanee bass, I mean, they got all this like turquoise, especially the mature ones. They have all this turquoise blue on their face, kind of about the same place I got all this gray. But they they're really just really cool looking. I've got a few pictures on my Instagram page. That's Beeline Fishing, Beeline fishing on Instagram. You can see some pictures of them, but the world record is 3.89 pounds, 16 and a half inches. So, I mean, for most people, 16 and a half for a largemouth is like, oh, that's kind of a normal, 2-pounder or whatever. And,
There's a
but
Swanee up there
there's a
on the
good
screen
picture.
for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But, they really fight too. I mean, they just grab it and run, and on light line and light gear, it's just a total blast. I mean, it's really fun.
so you're going to be running guide services for chasing these things?
Yeah, so Kingfisher Kayak Adventures is kind of my new startup on that. I was kind of hoping to start it earlier in the year, but all of us were waiting on some boats, right? So
Sure,
wanted to
sure.
have a couple more boats be able to do it. But my Flint is on the way to Florida right now, so I'll have a Flint Unlimited and an F12. And F12 is kind of what I've been using for the tournament trail.
Nice.
And and I'm working with one of our dealers, Rum 138. I really kind of help service 3 dealers in my area. So Rum 138, St. Augustine Paddle Sports, and Beach Basement Kayaks, which is a new for me. It's a newer dealer in Homosassa. All 3 of those guys are just awesome. Those companies just do bang up jobs and are great people. So if any of you, anybody watching this or needing kayaks or kayak supplies, support those dealers. They are terrific. Like, they will not let you down. And I'm just honored to be associated with them. But Rum 138 is my closest dealer. They're in Fort White. It's about 25 minutes from my house. And, they're right on the river. So they help pick up and drop off and that sort. So,
Right on.
your wife's calling you.
No, it's no, it's business. Um, Mark Savage is in the chat. He says, "I smell a road trip coming."
Yeah, man. Come on down, Mark. It's good to see you.
David Hernandez says, "Thanks, Buzz."
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, he's the man. He does great work, and he's got some great guides there. Will coming out of there. He and David and I. I'll give you an example how great Dave is. He does great work with veterans programs and
Nice.
wounded warrior programs, and all 3 of us have taken veterans around. I don't get to do it as often because it's St. Augustine's an hour and a half from me, so I do it when I can because I love any type of fishing. But even if it's just a paddle, it's a blast. So come on, just you got to appreciate that. He does most of that for free, so
Nice.
just great people.
That's awesome, man. David Harper says, "I need a Swanee bass, Buzz."
Yeah, man.
Michael Thompson says, "I want to go too."
Yep. Yeah. All right. Sign
So it
up.
looks like I just booked your first trip, man.
I
I
know,
need 10% commission.
I like it. Yeah, I'll
No, that's
keep
cool,
coming
man.
on when I need more business. I
There you
appreciate
go.
that.
There you go. So here's a question for you, man, because I'm always curious because I know there's a few guys across the country that do like, guided kayak trips. Once in a while, I'll do one through the shop here locally to me. But like, what's like the biggest size group you'll take out? Like 3 anglers, 2
Yeah.
anglers, or are you more of a one-on-one guy?
I would take 3 anglers out. I think that's probably the max. About, some of it depends upon the age. Like if it was like you or Mark or somebody, and I had, a couple people who were kind of rookies or not that comfortable being on the water, then I
Sure.
could take 5 because you guys feel comfortable with it and you could actually help a little bit. And even like Dave, Dave Hernandez and Will Newman there, they're really good on the water. But, when you start to get 15 or 20 people in there, you just need more bodies there to watch out for people and, help bait their line if you're using live or just to teach. So
Sure.
I usually say, max is usually my 3. And I would do 5 if it was a couple other people I knew were mostly independent on themselves.
Right on. That's cool, man. So, can I ask you this? Like, what's the going rate for a Swanee bass trip?
I've talked with Rum 138, but 3 people is like 310. I would typically do that. So, some of it would depend.
Sure.
Like if they want to go on a longer float, then, if it's 4 or 5 more miles or something. So I can customize it based on that.
That's
I don't
cool.
remember I just remember 310 for 3 because that was easy to remember. I think it's like 150 for 1 and somewhere in between that for 2, like 2 something.
Right on.
So
Cool. So that's all running out of the shop you work with, Rum 138?
yeah, that's my goal. Is we're still having meetings about that. So my goal is to definitely have them do it. But if they can't, or then I could still certainly do it myself. I've got a big trailer, and I'm thinking about getting like a motorcycle or a scooter or something. Then I can drop the trailer off, drop all the boats off, put my truck down at the other end where the pickup is, and then ride the motorcycle back.
Tell you what you need, man.
Yeah,
we saw it at that Minneapolis show, an electric bike.
I saw you guys riding around on it. That'd
Telling
be good.
you right now, unbelievable. Those things did like 35 miles an hour, dude.
Yeah.
And they pulled the kayak trailer too with a Frontier 12 on it. We were like,
cool.
Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah, that was a good video. I saw you guys rolling around like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, my wife doesn't like me on a motorcycle, so
electric bike, next closest thing.
It'll make her feel better that way for sure.
I need my 10% on that one too, but
you'll have to ask them if they sold it to me.
I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. That's cool, man. Well, that's awesome, man. I'm happy for you, dude. That's gonna be cool, man. I love taking new people out on the water and showing them, what it's all about, whether it's in a kayak or a boat. Just sharing that passion of fishing, man.
Yeah.
It's super cool. So congrats on that, dude. I'm super stoked for you, man, and see where that goes for you, man.
Thank you.
But you were also telling me too that you do some volunteer work too, as well, right?
Yeah. So, besides the conservation programs that I donate to, after every sale that I make in a real estate deal, I'm just beginning now to start to volunteer with a really great program. It's called the Fishing for Success program. It's an outreach program done by University of Florida's Fisheries and Aquatic Sciences program. And they have at the research ponds, they've got huge acreage, and they have a bunch of research ponds where they have bass and catfish and crappie and bluegills, red ears, sunfish, warmouths, all that. And they do family fishing days once a month for free. So anybody can come out. They don't even need an appointment between 8 and 12. And the first one is actually this weekend. And Crystal Hartman there and Chuck Sikra, they're just incredible people. But it's, if we're going to keep the fishing industry going, you really got to get new audiences involved. Oh, there it is. Good call, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries.
It's an awesome program. It doesn't get enough press, but it is probably one of the best, outreach for kids programs. And it needs to be more supported. And I like to volunteer and help them with donations. I've already donated some to that program through some of my real estate deals. So they they deserve more press, and I hope everybody in Florida, sends them a check, especially if you're interested in fishing. That it's just the way to go. It's just a wonderful program. I can't wait till this weekend. Like, I'm so excited to show these kids. And eventually, maybe I'll get the kayaks out there too. But for right now, it's as simple as just helping people understand, a spinning reel or taking the hook off for the
Sure.
kids and getting them excited. We got to
Yeah,
get
man.
people more excited. We have to get women, minorities, and kids excited in the fishing industry, and I'm happy to be a part of that.
I love that, man. I love that. I just dropped the link down in the chat. So
Awesome.
anybody going to be in the Florida area, go check that out, and help spread the word if you know somebody in Florida or something like that.
Yep.
But
Fishing
yeah,
for
man,
success. It's great.
It's super cool. I love kids, man. Like, I take my nephews out from time to time, and sometimes I get a little frustrated because I'm untangling lines and
Yeah.
stuff, but it's all worth it, man, because just the excitement they get for catching like a 3-inch bluegill or something like that, man. It makes all those headaches and frustrations go right away. It's super awesome. And I got my one nephew giving my dad a hard time. Grandpa, Uncle Brian catches big fish. So, like, I kind of taught him that. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, it's so much fun, man. And that's where it starts, like, I remember myself as a kid, first fishing memory I have was ice fishing at 7 years old and caught a huge crappie through the ice. And it's been downhill from there. It's like, it's you got to get them started young. It's like, I look at my nephew, my dad took him out a few times. I've taken him out. And it's just like, every time I see him, he's like, Uncle Brian, when we going fishing? When we going fishing? That's what we need more of, man.
We really do.
Less of like this stuff, cell phones and tablets, and more fishing rods and reels in kids' hands, man.
Yeah, getting people to enjoy nature and getting outside. I mean, even just wildlife tours and so forth. I mean, there's a category really for everybody. But if everyone's just fishing on their phone or whatever, then it's going to be hard to keep these great lakes that we have in Florida and keep people caring about it. So it's just another way to reach out. Yep.
Totally, man. Keep all our lakes across the nation. Like, that's in across the world, man. It's one of our most valuable resources that maybe gets overlooked a lot, I think
so too.
So super cool, man. Well, you're fresh off a season of kayak fishing with Kayak Anglers of Florida. Great group of guys, man. I met Randy Newton down there at ICAST, and he helps run that, or he kind of runs most of it, right? He's got some help, right?
Yeah. So
But
another team new member is the tournament director, Ryan O'Neill, here in Florida. Yep.
So you took third place for the season, or just the championship?
Just for the championship. So it's really the best state, in my opinion. So I am a little biased, I admit, but I think it's the best state kayak fishing tournament trail in the country, in my opinion. It's Florida is really the fishing capital of the world. I know that could be argued, but certainly it's a great spot. And this is my first season. It's really the first season I took competitive fishing as a more of a priority. Like,
Sure.
I really didn't get into it. And after my first tournament, there's 9 tournaments if you include the championship, I think. And I missed one, but in my first tournament, I only caught 1 fish, and I was like in last place in the points. So immediately I said, I want to be the most improved.
Sure.
The unofficial most improved person. And I could not have done that without all the guys who and women too. The female angler of the year, Julia Thomas. It was
nice.
Everyone's just so generous on being able to help me out. Like, after somebody would win, Randy has a podcast and they talk about it, but I texted or emailed them and said, hey, look, I'm really trying to learn. And they would help me so much I mean, everybody from top to bottom. I mean, I could name them all off, but I probably missed somebody. But I've made so many great friendships and learned many more skills. So I finished in the end of it. So I had 3 top 5 finishes,
Nice.
two third place and 1 fourth place in 8 tournaments I participated in. And, I just not that consistent. I was, I got skunked one tournament, or I was in the middle of the pack, but I think overall I was 11th in the Angler of the Year points,
Okay.
which got me qualified for the championship, the 2-day championship tournament, which was past weekend. And then I did very well. I actually led the tournament for a little while. I had to snap a quick picture of Tourney X when I was leading, but there's some real hammers or buzz saws or whatever you want to call them. I like to be called a buzz saw instead of a hammer, but they came roaring back, but I had a great tournament. Like, it's icing on the cake. Like, just making it to the championship was a big goal for me. And then I thought, well, maybe I could finish in the top 10 if, I'd pre-fished pretty well. And then I got, it was in the money. So I was like, wow, this is awesome. So
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's exciting, man, being your rookie year, going into it and having some success. You're not going to win them all. You're not going to lose them all,
Right.
but having some consistency, that's the thing. But for your rookie year, man, some top 5 finishes, that's pretty good, man. I would say you deserve a pat on the back.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And everybody from Team New, I really kind of pick my partners who I want to work with really closely. And I've always known that NuCanoe, I basically begged for a year to be on the team, and was fortunate to be on the team. Again, thank you, Blake and Everett and Jordan and Wesley Nolan.
Speaking of which, where's Everett Park? He's not in the chat, bro. Everett Park, where'd you go? You show up for ICAST and then you ditch out on us after that.
Well,
I got to get back to that stick, Yes. Everett Park just never tunes in.
But there's and again, I could be missing, Will at ICAST, and you and Matt, just Mark, everybody. And again, I apologize if I miss somebody, but everyone has been so supportive, I guess. And
sure.
And I've just tried to pay that back as much as I can and continue to do it. So I guess my partners, if I don't use them and believe in them, like, I don't even talk about them until I've used them for like 6 months.
Sure.
So,
sure.
I'm just, so I'm looking for more partners. If anybody wants to do it, but just know that, it's not going to be, you're going to have to probably have some patience with me, because I'm going to try your product out for 6 months before I start to review it. And if I don't like it, I'm not going to be, it's not going to be a good fit for that company or for me. So, but NuCanoe is an awesome fit. Like, I just love it.
So you said you were using the Frontier 12 this year as your tournament boat. What was the setup, man? You running a bow mount?
Yep.
What's your whole layout?
Yeah, so I have a bow mount Motor Guide XI3, which I actually have 2 of them now, because my first one was having some problems, and it was a bad card in it. But the good news is I got it fixed really, really well. Ryan O'Neill on Team New helped me out. He's got a really good repair guy down south. But it was right before a tournament, so I just bought another one. I knew I was getting more boats for the fishing guide, business, so it worked out well. Okay. And I have a power pole in the back. So, between most of the lakes in Florida are pretty shallow, so I can use them both, and you never know where the wind's coming from, so I can position the boat any way I want with the spot lock, or not, it's not spot lock, but the anchor button and the power pole. I can be almost in any position I want anywhere on the water. So
that's cool. Yeah.
It's a competitive advantage. I mean, it's been great. And I just got my unlimited last week, so I didn't want to try to use it for the first time in the championship tournament. So I just stuck with what I knew.
Sure.
And just went from there. Put on some miles. I had 55 Dakota Lithium 55 there. So I was able to make it through. I only burned it out once in one tournament, and I
Okay.
just,
Okay.
but I can go all day with that. It's been great.
Nice. Nice. What kind of graph you running?
Lowrance HD7, I think.
Okay.
If I remember right, I've kind of gone through the gamut of fish
Electronics.
finders.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
it's been great. Yeah.
Nice. 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 You got the live scope dealie on it or
Yeah,
whatever. I forget what Lowrance calls it,
yeah,
but
it's HDS Live or something like that. And
sure.
again, I'm a rookie. I somebody tell me how to use this thing better. I may have done even better. But
There
yeah,
you
it's
go.
just trying to figure it all out.
Nice, dude. Very cool, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. 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 Well, dude, congrats on a great season. Congrats on the new guide service. Like that's super cool, man. Swanee Bass, man. Like I told you when we started, first time I seen one was Jean Wilson. She's down in Florida as well, and um, old teammate of mine, and she just always catching those. And man, they're just such a beautiful fish, man. I need to make my way down there and just cross that one off the bucket list.
Yeah.
Go by and see Garrett Pate and Everett Park for the shoal bass over
Yeah.
in Georgia. And yeah, I need to check some of these off off the list, man. But super cool, man. Super happy for you, man. Well, I know it was good to get to meet you a little bit down at ICAST, and I know we're glad to have you on the team here at NuCanoe, man. So keep up the good
Likewise.
keep up the good
Likewise.
work, brother.
Yeah,
I don't
thanks.
know, Everett Park, because I give him such a hard time. I might be on the line, man. I might be on the line. So if I disappear from the team one day, you know what happened. Thanks for tuning in, Everett. I mean, not tuning in, but no, it's super cool, man. Well, I'll give you the floor, man. Shout out and plug all your links, your social medias, all that good stuff, man. So the good people at home can give you a follow and, keep up with your journey and watch what you're doing, man.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. Beeline Fishing, Beeline Fishing is my Instagram page, and that's where I could really use the most help with right now. And you certainly can, Facebook me too, Buz Bireline, BuzBireline, on my Facebook. And I certainly want to thank my sponsors or partners. I like to call them partners because technically no one is actually totally paying me to go ahead and go fishing for a living yet, maybe in the future. But
Yeah.
my partners, NuCanoe, Shelta, Performance Gear, Performance Hats. I got them in the background there, and you'll see them on my Instagram page and so forth. And Stream 2C, sunscreen. You got a head like that, you better get some sunscreen on that thing. So those are my three big ones right now, and like I say, I'm certainly looking for more partners. If you got high integrity and you think it's a good fit for your brand, I certainly support you as much as I can. But yeah, and the Fishing for Success program, check that out, become a part of that. Help the future of fishing. Definitely do that, and yeah, I'm just thrilled to be around. Thank you, Blake, for believing in me and being part of Team New, and thanks all guys and gals, Sydney and Jordan, and everybody. If I miss somebody, I apologize. But KAF and Randy Newton and his whole crew and all the people I've been fishing with and the ones that I'll get to go fishing with here in the future. I'm just humbled and grateful to have you part of my fishing adventures. So thanks.
Right on, man. Right on. Cool. I like it, Buzz. I like it.
Yeah,
All right.
come on down, Brian. Man, those Suwannee bass,
Trust me,
it's
man.
hard to say. Oh, well, I tell you what, we'll catch a little 14-incher, and we'll be very excited because that's a big catch. That's almost a trophy catch. And then we'll go over to Rodman, which is only 45 minutes from Gainesville, and we'll catch a 10-pounder if you want.
Dude, I almost forgot. We almost ended the show without the number one question. You got a Frontier 12. It's rigged up tandem. you can go fishing with a person for a full day, dead or alive. Who's it going to be?
Oh,
I almost slipped, man. I'm surprised the people in the chat didn't call me out on that. I almost ended without doing that.
dead or alive? I tell you what, I bet it would be my Uncle Burmeister. I've got great pictures. He's a veteran of him fishing all over the world. He's in World War II and so forth. And he and my grandfather really, he's a great uncle, basically. And
Okay.
I got some great, black and white pictures of them fishing. I have a feeling it's just in my genes, like those guys started it. And I never really got to go fishing with them as a kid, so I think it would be awesome to go back in time and go fishing and seeing what their experience was with family. That's the whole thing with fishing, and the best times are with your family. It's how usually how you get addicted to it, and it's those experiences. So, and don't get me wrong, I'd love to go fishing with Bill Dance and Brian Latimer and all the pros out there, KVD. So if you're Randy Howell, I met him at ICAST. Love that guy. He's awesome. I'd love to go fishing with that man.
Nice.
And but yeah, family members who aren't around anymore. I think that if I could go back in time and get a few minutes with them, that'd be awesome.
That's super cool. I love it, brother. I love it. Well, Buz, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you taking time away from the family tonight to sit down and chat and share the good word with the good folks watching at home. Those of you tuning in on the podcast, that's right. This gets uploaded to all the major podcast platforms as soon as we're done. So if you're an audio person, you can always go back and listen. This is on the Facebook page and the YouTube page, so you can always go back and watch as well. Next week, we got a pretty cool show coming up. As you know, NuCanoe's we've been working on the hunting end of things, boys and girls. So we got two teammates coming on. We're going to talk a little bit of hunting. We got Parker McDonald and Brad Hurlebaus. Brad is up in Wisconsin. He does a lot of waterfowl hunting out of his NuCanoe.
Cool.
Parker shoots giant deer and transports them in his kayak, water access only type stuff. So we're going to talk some preseason scouting, how they utilize their stuff for hunting and stuff like that. So we're gonna start to switch gears a little bit as hunting season rolls in. We're still gonna talk with the fishing guys, but we got to show those guys some love. So we're gonna get them on next week and chat with them. And then the week after, we got Anthony McNutt from Missouri gonna come on as well. So a couple exciting shows coming up for you guys. I'm getting ahead of schedule here, boys and girls, keeping the content rolling for you guys. So as always, boys and girls, we will see you next Tuesday, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 5 o'clock out on the West Coast. And as always, tight lines, smooth paddling. Peace.